Are you looking for a mobile game to actually hold your attention? Then go check out our MMO by Mobile channel and see if there's something there that interests you. If not, no problem, I got you covered either way. We got plenty of news this week to satiate your appetite for MMO news. From Kingdom Under Fire 2 finally launching in the West to Dragon Nest finally getting a new update to that Lord of the Rings Online MMO being unveiled and more. So sit back, put on some chill music, not too loud though that you can't hear me, maybe get a nice herbal tea going, and get ready for this week's weekly bite of MMORPG news. We'll start this off with possibly the best and I guess simultaneously worst news this week. So on the positive side, Kingdom Under Fire 2, after 11 whole years, has finally been confirmed to be releasing in the West. On the negative side of things though, Gameforge is the publisher that is going to be publishing it over here, the very same company responsible for ruining literally every single title they have. Content has long since stopped over in South Korea as it shut down years ago, so what we'll get is very limited, but nevertheless, those of us that have been waiting for 11 years will finally be able to play it. Gameforge are likely attempting to cash in on a long since dead MMO like they have in the past, and this is all I believe this release is, honestly, but I think that we can probably still enjoy it for what it is, at least for the most part. You know, for a short while. The game is confirmed to be releasing this year, so yeah. Now, if you didn't skip this at the first sight of the title, then this might actually be of interest to you. The newest closed beta began on July 11th and will be running until July 15th for Bless Unleashed, so if you manage to get a closed beta key and want to see what the game's like, then make sure you get in. There are surprisingly still thousands of keys that are being given away. Whether that shows that there is a lot of interest or a lot of disinterest, I'm not certain. Surprisingly, I have heard good things about the game from people I follow on Twitter, but then again I heard good things about Bless Online from their press conference as well way back when. So I guess take the positive comments about the game with a grain of salt for the time being until you actually get to see the game for yourself at launch, but either way, have fun testing out the beta at the same time. Ion, the Gameforge version, not the NCSoft version, is preparing their 7.0 update. The update brings with it quite a few things. The new land of Dumaha, which is accessible via teleporting from Lakram. New siege battles for people that are invested in PvP, which is probably most of Ion's player base, honestly. The Gold Arena is also making a return, which is another form of PvP, and there are tons of new transformation items to collect and use. The update itself was originally slated for a July 10th release, but has since been pushed back to July 24th. So if you're wanting for things to do in Ion, at least in Europe, then you won't have to for much longer. So Dual Universe is currently still under an NDA, but that has not stopped them from uploading various trailers for the game. Accompanying new footage was the announcement that they would be kicking off their second stage of alpha testing, bringing with it a variety of changes and features. One of which involves you being able to leave your ship finally and float around space in 0G, which, I'm gonna be honest with you guys here, is pretty sick. Currently, the game lacks any kind of combat, I believe, but they have been working on padding the game with content before introducing combat, PvP, and other features. Blue Protocol, one of my most anticipated MMOs, now has an alpha test going live this month. Yeah, this soon after being announced. The new action-oriented PC MMORPG is being crafted using Unreal Engine 4 and shares some resemblances to Project BBQ. Alpha testing, well, I mean, not really alpha testing, closed alpha testing, I guess, will be beginning in Japan only from July 26th until July 28th. There is currently no confirmed global alpha test going on or even planned right now, and only I think around 5,000 Japanese players are going to be able to get into the game to actually test it. There are 4 classes currently slated for playability during the alpha. Those are the Aegis Fighter, the Blast Archer, the Spellcaster, and the Twin Striker. Dragon Nest doesn't really get much in the way of updates anymore, especially since it launched its mobile port. But here we are, the second half of 2019, talking about an update the PC version is getting. By the PC version, I don't necessarily mean the Western PC version, I mean the South Korean version anyway. But I am sure the other versions won't really be all that far behind. What was introduced was a new Vena Plaga class, and she looks pretty adorable. Yeah, and that's kind of it for Dragon Nest. But, you know, at least we're getting Dragon Nest updated still, right? That's a positive. It looks like it's been a pretty big week for updates. Albion Online received its next large update titled Percival on the 10th. This marks the game's 7th major update since it launched originally way back in 2017. In an attempt to further expand their already large open world, Percival is introducing new randomized dungeons for solo players that aim to offer unique experiences every time they're run. Additionally, players will gain access to a large variety of new customization options, such as new beards, new hairstyles, and additional face options. A full list of features will be available on their website for any and all interested players. This is news that I know is going to pique a lot of interest from you guys, or I hope it piques a lot of interest for you guys. How many of you guys even like Lord of the Rings, or how many of you guys are even old enough to have enjoyed Lord of the Rings? I'm going to be disappointed if there aren't a lot of you guys leaving comments saying that you love Lord of the Rings. Seriously, guys. But I digress. As you know, there already exists an MMO set within the Lord of the Rings world, Lord of the Rings Online. Both Wiggy and I have done 2, maybe 3 videos on that over the course of our channel's existence. However, last year, I think towards the end of last year, it was announced that a new Lord of the Rings MMO would begin being worked on. This week, we got further clarification on that when Amazon Game Studios, which recently shut down its New World alpha test that has been constantly online for, like, ever, revealed they would be working on it. A brand new Lord of the Rings MMO set before the events of Lord of the Rings Online. The game will be launching cross-platform, but unfortunately won't tie in with the new TV series being produced by Amazon. There is currently no planned release date or news of any upcoming alphas or betas, but if there is any word on it, you will know where to find out about it first. For me. I'm saying that you'll be able to find out about it first from me. Nowhere else. Me. Cross-platform though sounds really awesome. I mean, being able to play with you guys on my PC when you guys are playing on like the PS4 or the Xbox, maybe even the Switch, who knows? Kakao Games had announced last month that it would be bringing a brand new TERA MMORPG to mobile devices titled TERA Classic. I've done a segment on this in the past discussing the differences between TERA M and all of their other TERA mobile ports, but as of right now, I just want to inform everyone that if you're interested in TERA Classic, a mobile port that is attempting to quote-unquote recreate the PC game in mobile form, then they're currently holding pre-registrations for the game. Not really much in the way of information pertaining to the game or gameplay have even been revealed, other than it'll feature the same action combat present in a PC game and be set 20 years before it, while simultaneously having a very large emphasis on storytelling. Something that, admittedly, TERA never really had. Like, I know TERA technically had a story, and the game progressed along with that story and told more of the story, but I don't know, like, my wife, Mrs. STIX, I think she dedicated like 6 months, maybe a year to that game before we met, and she doesn't even know what the story was about. Wiggy and I, on the other hand, we played plenty of it, and we followed through the story, and again, we had absolutely no idea what was going on. From what I've seen of gameplay though, it doesn't look or play nearly as good as the PC version, unlike Black Desert Mobile, which does itself look pretty amazing. Who here is old enough to remember The Land Before Time? Man, that movie, and even the subsequent spin-offs of it, man, that was my childhood. I remember that so fondly. RuneScape's newest update, and it's going to be a very large update at that, brings with it a brand new mysterious island to explore filled with all of Littlefoot's friends, if they were all horribly, horribly mutated and bloodthirsty. There's a lot added with this patch, far too much to go over here, but to quickly summarize, you get lots of shit, and there are tons of dinosaurs ready to ravage your body. This is an update a lot of you guys DM'd me about. Why? Because it brings with it the brand new Gith race, something that you've been excited for a while now. Not only that, but the update titled Uprising brings with it new PvP content, a new 10-player raid, and most importantly, a completely overhauled leveling experience for new players. You can expect the update to go live on August 13th. Pretty cool, huh? Fresh off of the success of its first closed beta, the team behind Astellia Online are readying themselves for closed beta 2. Remember that we will have beta keys to give out along with copies of the game to give away for free for those of you that follow my wife Mrs. STIX and I on Twitter and are subscribed to the channel. The giveaways will be hosted about a week or two before each closed beta and then the subsequent release, so make sure you keep an eye on both. The second closed beta in question has a yet undisclosed date, but we will be sure to keep you all updated and let you know when it officially goes live. And that pretty much covers the majority of MMO related news that I was made aware of over the last week. If you know of anything I missed, feel free to hit me up on Twitter or Instagram with a link to the article so I can talk about it. Anyway guys, that is it for me. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this and I'll see you all next time. Peace.